It's the E.A.R. Chronicles. It's the E.A.R. Chronicles. I'm talking TV. I'm talking movies. I'm talking anime, cartoons, sci-fi, and fantasy. It's the E.A.R. Chronicles. It's the E.A.R. Chronicles. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the E.A.R. Chronicles, the place where you're going to get an earful of my thoughts on TV shows and movies that I like. And of course, we're talking about The Wheel of Time right now. It's the last episode. It's the last episode. Y'all, the finale happened almost 2 weeks ago, and I have just been in a constant state of shock from what happened and also denial because I don't want to let it go. This show has me hooked and I don't want to let it go because I love this show so much. And I know there's so much controversy with the show in general, with this season, with this finale specifically, but this show has just given me life in ways I just didn't know was possible. So I'm so glad that I get to talk about this show. And I'm so ready to dive into this finale. But before we do, y'all know what y'all got to do. Y'all know what you got to do. And the will wills it. The light demands it. You need to become a subscriber right now. Stop what you're doing. Pause this video and hit the subscribe button. And of course, turn on those notifications so you never miss when I got an episode coming out. And also, please follow me on IG, that's Instagram, and TikTok at the E.A.R. Chronicles. And on Twitter, if you're on Twitter, at E.A.R Chronicles. Thank you all so much for tuning back in. I appreciate it. And we're going to just jump right on into it, y'all. So this finale, so much could have happened, right? I don't know where it was going to go, but I know there were things I was looking forward to seeing. And I got to see some of those things I was looking forward to. And then there were some things that I was like, wait, hold up. We this wasn't supposed to happen like this. So I went in because I'm nosy, right? So I haven't read the books, but I'm nosy, so I've read the Wikipedia pages on pretty much all the characters there are. And so I was expecting some things to happen, just not the way they happened, right? So, I have to now remember that the show gonna do what the show gonna do. And I'm just gonna be happy with it. As sad as I can be and am, I'm just going to roll with the punches and see what they got in store. I'm gonna trust the team, trust the actors, the writers, and everybody that they gonna lead us to where we need to be. They gonna get us to the promised land. Amen. So to start off, we immediately go back 10 years and we get Elida coming out of the Eowyn door. So for those who are unfamiliar, there are two doors or door frames, those red twisted door frames that we've seen. They lead to an extra dimensional world where these beings called the Eowyn, that's it, AEFI. I can't spell AELFIN. And the Eowyn, which is EEEILFIN. It's two different ones, right? And we'll see the E one, the Eowyn, later. That'll come up and play. But Elida comes out of this twisted door frame 10 years ago on the day in which Swan became Emerald. But before that, there was a vote to be had. And Alviren meets her, and she comes out with, she's, doing that little bracelet. And so people are speculating that they gave her something. But I learned that the Eowyn only answer questions, where the Eowyn, the fox people, they give you things. So maybe she's done one of the other one at some point in time as well. We don't know. But we do know that they told her that she was going to be Emerald. And so when it came down to the vote in the hall, she just knew that she was about to become Emerald. They were about to vote her in. But in a twisted turn, everybody gave their support, mostly everybody, to Swan instead. So 10 years ago, Swan was raised to Amerlin over Elida, and that girl been holding a grudge ever since. Ever since, because it didn't make sense for her because the elfin had promised her that she'd be Amerlin, but you got to be careful because they never told you how you're going to do it, how it's going to happen, and the cost of it. So that's where they jump off in the cold open with Swan being Amerlin, which is connected to what happens on later on in the episode. And then we see Leanna confront Swan. You know, she like, listen, Swan, you need to put this vote in the hall about Rand, the Dragon Reborn. If we're supposed to support them, okay, cool. But let's tell the other sisters, because the longer you keep them in the dark about this, is giving Elida a chance to draw a wedge between us in the hall, in the tower. And so you need to do it. Make them believe in it. Make me believe in what you're saying. Like, if you saying that the White Tower needs to bend the knee to Rand, I'll throw a Dragon Reborn. We gonna do it, but you need to give us a reason how you know this, where he at, and why. And I 1000% agree with Leanna. I love Swan down. I love her down. But Leanna is right. You see, I kind of got my Leanna on, like that her little guard. You know, I'm kind of in my Leanna era, huh? It kind of matches what she got on or had on in this episode. And so I 1000% agree with her, and I wish Swan would have just heeded her warning. Because, girl, let's just tell the tower, put it to the vote, and it'll settle all those matters. But, you know, Swan gonna do what Swan gonna do. And so then we move on to we see Elida. She's talking with Alviera, who's the head sitter for the White Aja. And she's like, I'm gonna need your support. And this time, make the logical choice, because the White Aja are driven by logic. And that's what Elida was pushing 10 years ago when she lost the vote, was logic. And so now she's pushing that she is the logical vote. And that they know that Swan has somehow been in communication with Moraine and the Dragon Reborn, and that she's doing this behind their back. So she covering something up. So she might be a dark friend, pretty much, is what they insinuated. And so they got a little plan cooking up. Then we get to Moraine. And she confronts Samael, the Forsaken, who they have captured, right? And so he's bound. He like, what's going on? So she tied off. She tied off a shield on him the way Ishmael did to her in season 2. And so she pretty much tell him, I ain't gonna kill you, but you gonna teach Rand. That's what you gonna do. Pretty much put a knife up to his throat. Like, you gonna teach him how to channel, and you gonna do it right. Or I'm gonna bury you here. So get your act together and be prepared to be the teacher. So she pretty much just strong on him to being Rand's tutor and mentor in channeling Sardine. But we don't really get to see him do that, because later on, we see that, you know, Rand and Egwene and the wise ones, everybody else has a little plan when it comes to Lanfear. So before I get there, though, they show us Liandrin. She walks in on her little cabal, and Janine, whatever her name, she playing with that Tangreal, the Bellfire Tangreal, and Leandra like, put that down, quit playing with that. Sound like somebody mom, put that down. Why would you have that in your hand? Listen, this is what it's like. She was over here playing with it. Yes, I got props today. She playing with it. Put that down. And so she tells them that they know where the collar is. It's in the Penarch's Palace. I got it right this time. Penarch's Palace. And at this time for them to go get it. And then the Tanchico crew oversee, well, they don't overhear, but they see Leandra and her, the rest of them, I think is Jean, whatever the girl name is, and the other yellow Audra sister. So they go looking for the collar, and Matt and Nynaeve, while they eating noodles and playing around, they see them go for it. So that, oh shoot, let's go. We got to follow them. Why y'all following them? I don't know. But the Chanchico crew follows them to the Pinar's palace. Then we get to see, like I said, Rand is in the dream world. He meets with Lanfear. Then he breaks up with Lanfear. For real this time. He like, you a monster. You petty. You cruel. So yeah, he broke up with you. And you know, he got through with you because you, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Because you're not right up here. Because do you really want to kill the Dark One? Or do you just want all the power for yourself? She's like, why not both? No, there's no both. So he cuts her loose. She is furious. She starts using the true power and converting herself and contorting herself. And Egwene pops up and she blasts Lanfear out of his dreams. And we're assuming, and I heard from the Podcastica of the Wheel of Time, they were mentioning how Egwene was able to have full control in his dream, which we don't really know, but one can speculate that Rand gave her that authority to have control, to kick Lanfear out. So who knows how it happened. Then they have a little circle prepared for her. So at that point, they wake up and they all get ready. They all surrounded. They summon the one power. They got their swords ready. Moraine is charging up the Sarkhanen. So they like, she coming. We got to be ready. But then she don't come. And Moraine was like, well, Rand, don't assume that you the only one she want. So we got to hurry up. And we can't make no mistake. Because we make a mistake, we die. So let's go figure out where else she could be and what else she wants. And after that, we see Lanfear go get Melindra. And that is the lady who is from Malkier, like land. And so we find out that Melindra is a dark friend. What? That's why you can't never be too careful. You never know who's going to be a dark friend. Never. I never would have guessed she was a dark friend. And so Lanfear's like, I'm calling in my favor. And pretty much her favor was she needs to go kill Lan. Will she do that? We're going to see. We'll see. Then we move on. We get back to the cave where Samael is tied off. And Moghedien appears. And her creepy behind, she's like, I want to know how you kill a chosen, Samael. I can help you. I can undo it. But she's not going to help this man. He's trying to form an alliance with her. She ain't hearing it. And she get to, let's see, playing with him. And this is how I'll show you how she left him later on. Well, I guess I can show you now. Oh, not this one. This picture. There we go. This is how she left. This is how she left him. All strung out. This is the best picture I can find. This was later on in the episode when Lanfear and Ravine convene. Bars. But she strung this man's body up by the blood and had him all types of torn up into pieces. Disgusting. Sickening, revolting. But that's the spider for you. That's Moghedien. Then we start to see them journey on to the Al-Khayyar Dal. They journey to present Rand as the Carachari before the tribes of the Aiel. And before Rand is presented, here go Lanfear. She meets with the Shido clan. And she gives Kaludin, some tattoos that resemble Lan's dragon tattoos that would proclaim him the Carachari, that would prove that he's the Carachari. And so we're like, oh Lord, it's gonna be some mess. It's gonna be some mess. Because how he gonna prove that he not the one and he gonna prove against that he is the one? We gonna see. And then we get back to Chanchico. And they all split up in the Pinarch's Palace. Why folks like to split up? For whatever reason, they do it. So Tom and Elaine are talking. So Tom Merlin. And she's like, yeah, like, how do you know me again? And he's just pretty much telling her he didn't raise her, but like he watched over her in her younger years in the palace. He was a good friend of her mom. He promised her mom that he would protect her and look out for her. And she was like, so when did Lord Gabriel get there? And he like, who? She said, the queen's consort. And he was like, I was there for years upon years as an advisor and looking out and everything. There's no Lord Gabriel. There's no Lord Gabriel at all. And then before he could keep talking, Janine, whatever her name is, she come in with the Bellfire Tangriel, trying to shoot them. So they running off. And while they hiding, Tom reveals to her, like, listen, I need you to make a run for it. Because I told your mama to watch out for you. You make a run for it. And I'm going to hold her off. But I need you to know, once you go back, just know your mother is in danger. Your throne is in danger. Whoever this Lord Gabriel is, those memories that you have of him, he put them there. And only a Forsaken can do that. So you need to go home and warn your mama and go save your throne. Come on. Come on. I ain't going to tell y'all, just in case y'all are watching this and y'all don't know who he is, because I done read up so I know who he is. But come on, you better stand in the gap. You better be looking out for that girl like you promised. And you better clock Lord Gabriel, a.k.a. Ravine. So I'm glad that this knowledge is finally out. And I'm interested to see how this is going to play out next season. Now that she know the truth. That Lord Gabriel is a fraud, a fake, a charlatan. What are they going to do now? And so, of course, in Elaine fashion, she does run, quote unquote. But when Tom goes out to confront Janine, she knocks her in the back with a weave of air, grabs it, because she was like, let's see what this does to a human on a person. The Bellfire, she not get knocked out. The town girl falls onto Elaine's hand, and Elaine's like, let's. And I'm gonna pull up the picture so you can see what it does, what it did to Janine. Blasted her smooth out the pattern. Whoop! Took her out. And it also reversed the damage that she had did previously to the ceiling. So Bellfire, from my understanding, is such a powerful weave that it takes the person completely out of the pattern as if they never existed. And depending on how strong the channeler is and how recent they get hit with it, it undoes their actions. So really crazy, powerful Tangriel, very dangerous weave, which I read that's why it's banned. And pretty much even the Forsaken don't mess with it too much because it's that dangerous. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to mess with that Bellfire stuff because ain't nobody got time to get blasted out of the pattern. Like you never existed. Then we get to Matt and the Eofin. So him and Min, they split up. They go into the little room where they look through stuff, Then he sees the red twisted door frame, and of course, in Matt fashion, just walks through it, no caution, no thought, no nothing. Just walks through it. He gets met with this fox-like hideous creature. Woo! Y'all, these things freak me out. Especially when it started laughing and ha, 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 ha. I need you to do all that. All that in my ear, all that screaming. Please cut it out. That's what I would like you to do. That's what I would have told him about Matt. But pretty much, the Eofin explained that Matt gets 3 wishes, pretty much. So it's like a genie. And he has to ask, and they will make it so. And they give him, well, the first one, he's like, well, I'm tired of getting bullocked about by the one power. So in every magical thing on this blasted planet, done is what it says. And then his next one, it tells him, you have voices in your head. I can help you with those. Fix them. You can fix them. Done. What is your last? And he's asking these questions. What are you? I know this smell. It smells like death. And it basically is like, what's your third ask so we can get you up out of here? Well, I don't know if it really wanted him up out of there, but it just wants him to get his third ask in so it can fulfill its duty. And then Matt was like, get me out of here. Send me home. He was like, smart of you to ask for leave taking. Not smart, not wise to set the price or the terms. So I will set the price and the terms. They sent that man back out to the real world, hung up, getting hung like men had prophesied. He was hanging from the door frame. And Min gets him down after she knocks out the Black Aja that was like watching him hang to death. We see that he has the fox head medallion now, which if you haven't read the books or haven't read up on it, you don't know what that means. So go look that up. And then the spear that was tying him up there, it's called the Asharande or something like that. Look that up too. Don't ask me how to spell it because I probably ain't even saying it right, but I think I am. So Matt gets out. He's safe. He now has a way to protect himself from the one power, but he loses his memories, or at least some of them, because he doesn't remember how he got there. So side effect to getting the voices taken out of his head by the Eofin. But I'm interested to see now Matt and how his those objects that he got from the Eofin that protects him from the one power, how that's going to play out in the next season. I can't wait to see it in action. And I'm finally glad, because Matt has not been my favorite of the group, but I am happy to finally start seeing more of him and his story. And so I'm looking forward to how they do it with him later on. Then we get to my favorite part of the episode. Oh, this is my favorite part. Nynaeve finds the collar because she know what it looked like. Leandra and the rest of them, they still looking for the big, bold, silver collar, but she knows, Nynaeve, that an Adam collar does not look like that when it's not in use. It's like a little regular silver ring, which she finds. But then Leandrin finds her. And pretty much they have a conversation, and Nynaeve is trying to convince Leandrin to come back to life. She was like, I know what happened to you here. Joya told me that there's no sister that you can never walk the path too far that you can't come back to the light. And she's like, oh, you're trying to turn me. Oh, girl, I ain't going nowhere. I like who I am. I'm going to be a chosen of a new age. I'm going to call it a Dragon Reborn, and that's going to be that on that. She yokes up Nynaeve, wraps her up, chains her, flings her into the ocean, child. And she says, I'm going to call it a Dragon Reborn and kill the most powerful channel in 1,000 years. Chunks Nynaeve into the ocean. You would think that's it, right? So they have this weird relationship that they care for each other, whether Leandrin would want to admit it or not. Because if you pay attention, Leandrin waited for like 15 seconds to see if Nynaeve was going to bust up out of the water and do something about being chained. Because she was like, come on, girl. Like, although she's for the dark and she knows she probably potentially can't ever sway Nynaeve to the dark, she still knows how powerful she is and she wants her to walk in that power. She always has. But Nynaeve does not. So she walks off, takes the collar, and goes on about her merry way. And Nynaeve is drowning. She's drowning. But then she hears her daughter's voice. She hears her daughter's voice from back in the arches. She closes her eyes. And she starts to feel safe. She's listening to her daughter's voice. And then it clicks. Oh, it clicks. Something clicks. She starts to channel, y'all. Nynaeve starts to channel. The chains begin, the weave starts to remove the chains. Come on, breaker of chains. And the chains get removed. And she busts up out of the water. And the seas began to part. Oh, Lord. I said, come on, Moses. The seas, she parts the seas. And she's walking in her power, y'all. And she gets up out of there. Finally, Nynaeve broke the block. So from here on out, her name is Nynaeve Almera, Moses of the third age, breaker of chains, parter of the seas. And I love this moment with everything in my being. I was so happy to see her finally cut loose, break that block, and free herself. It was amazing to see. Definitely the highlight for me of the episode. I can do nothing but laugh, y'all. If you watching this, you get to this point, go on over to my YouTube shorts, and there's a clip that's tied to this video of her breaking her chains, parting the seas, and escaping, and finally getting rid of that block. And I was just tickled, because at the end you see her starting to smile. I'm like, yeah, girl, it feel good, don't it? That power feel good, don't it? And I'm like, now go do something with this power that you got. Go do something with it. Go jack up Leandrin. Go find Mo Gideon. Do something with it. But I was just so proud of her to finally let loose and free herself. I showed y'all a little preview of what's coming up. But it was just such an amazing scene. And I'm so glad we finally got to see her do what we've known she's always been capable of. That was the channeler. The strongest channeler in 1,000 years. And it was so wonderful to see that in Nynaeve. And then, we move on back to the Ioways. Well, yeah, to Al-Qaeda. And Melindra, she don't really try to sneak up on land. She do it on purpose, that he catches her. She renounces her dark oaths because she doesn't go through it where she was supposed to, and she dies. But she's like, you are the golden crane of Mount E.A.R. You are our salvation. And I would not fulfill my dark oaths. So she does not kill Land. Then we move on to Moraine and Rand. They start having a conversation. And he pretty much was like, I see you now. Like, you've had my back. Everybody else has tried to bend me to their own will. They want me to do what they want to do. But I see you, and that you've always had my best interest. She was like, hold on, wait a minute now. I've been ready to have I've had a knife at your throat. For if you turn to the dark, okay, or you go mad, I was going to kill you. Okay. I want to make sure that you get to the last battle. So, but I don't want you there if you're not going to be fighting for the light. And he said, and that's what I'm talking about. You want what I want, and I can trust you to do what's in the best interest of the world. And so for that, I thank you. And I love this moment because y'all know Rand has given Moraine a hard time this entire series. All three seasons. He's given her problems. But now he finally realizes that she's done all she's done to get him to this point, but to make sure he's going to do it the right way. And so they have that acknowledgement, and I love it. And so he also knows that she talked about dying and that this could be the day, but she's like, I'm going to try my best. I'm not coming with you to proclaim yourself the Khan. I'm going to try to protect you from Lanfear. That's what I'm going to try to do, or die trying. That's her mother. That's Auntie right there. Auntie Moraine. She was looking out for him. She did her best. Then we get down there to see Swan. Well, we go back to the tower. And Swan has sent her trusted sisters into a setup. They don't know it yet. But the Red Aja had sent out 8 sisters to trick them into sending out her trusted sisters to confront them. But they needed to get her out of the tower. And so get all her trusted people, Swan's people, out of the tower. So when they can't find Elida, she's held up in the Great Hall. They bust in. What in Light's name is going on? And so they go in, her and Lyanna barge in, they bust in. And pretty much Elida is garbed in Emerald garbs. And, and she looks great. Got to give it to her. And she says, Swan Sanche, this hall convened not an hour ago, and we, according to tower law, with 11 full sisters, all unanimously voted to depose you, and you will be stilled. Also, you are being accused of being a dark friend. Oh, Lord. Not this. No. Not this. This is the moment I've been dreading from what I've read up on. I have been preparing myself for Lyanna and Swan to be deposed and stilled, but I was not expecting how it happened. But I'm going to give my sister Lyanna one more, Because Leanna is a rider to the end, y'all. I'm telling you. She said, over my dead body. She had, look, she had the scepter. I told you I'm going to use these props. She had to, over my dead body. She tried to step in. They shield her and knock her down. And so she has to watch as they steal Swan. They shooting these arrows into Swan. And I was just like, I can't take it, because why y'all doing my girl like that? She don't deserve it. She don't deserve it. But it was for me, seeing the agony in, because I told you she's a great keeper. Jen, that she is a phenomenal actress, y'all. Jen's face and seeing Swan be still, it was so hard to see, because that's my mother, that's my sister, that's my girl. But y'all, to see it happen was so devastating. Look at this. Leanna was, she could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. And it was such a horrific scene in the sense of like how it was happening. And to see the one power get snatched up out of Swan like that, be still my heart. Be still my heart. It was just tragic. But shout out to Sophie Okanedo and Jen Garcia. I hope I'm saying that last. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm saying that last name right. Yes, Jen Garcia. I mean, excellent job. That duo was chef's kiss. Beautifully done, ladies. Beautifully done. But this scene, it broke my heart. And I thought it was it. I thought that was all the heartache I was going to receive to see my girls stealed. Although they didn't show Leanna getting stealed, I'm assuming she also was stealed as well. And I just don't like the smug look on Elida's face. Like, yeah, I did that. You know, well, Swan Sanche, you will be tried and stealed. Like, you are a dark friend. No, she is not. You are so blinded by power that you don't even see that that keeper of yours, that new keeper, Alviarin, that's the one you need to watch. But that's neither here nor there. So Swan and Leanna are deposed and stealed. Then we see they move us back to Chenchico with Leandrin trying to make a deal with Mogideon about working together to call her Rand. I don't know what they got going on. They had a little tension going on. No, it was weird. They could have left that out. They could have left that out. Then they move us to Lanfear and Ravine, like I showed you earlier, going over his body, of Samuel's body, and pretty much discussing that, like, we need to work together. We need to quit going against each other. And for real, let's tighten up. And are you really, truly ready to kill the Dragon Reborn? And she's like, yes. So now they have a pact. We're going to see what they do with it. Rand goes down there to the center stage, y'all, and for the Al-Qaeda. And he proclaims, well, before he can even proclaim himself, Kalu didn't come down there, y'all. I'm the Dragon Reborn. He's showing the tattoos. And they all ready to kneel for him and go to war for him. Rand get down there and it's like, I'm the one. I'm the Wetlander. Yes, I'm a Wetlander. But what does the prophecy say? Of the blood, but not raised by the blood. My daddy was what is his name? Junko? Whatever it was. His daddy was the chief of the Tardak clan back in the day, pretty much is what he's telling him. And I was raised as a Wetlander. Of the blood, but not raised by the blood. And he's like, I came here to destroy you. So I'm going to tell y'all the truth, even though the clan chief was like, Ruark was like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. They can't handle the truth. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Y'all are ill. The old ones, y'all are oath breakers. You were supposed to be following the way of the leaf. So oath breakers. Yeah. And they was like, oh, they were pissed. The Aiel was pissed. They started turning on each other's swords. I mean, not swords, but spears, turning on each other. They was pissed because, that is the worst thing you could be as an Aiel, is an oath breaker. But he was meant to destroy them. That's what it said. That's what the prophecy said. He was going to destroy them. But he said, but the remnant of a remnant, oh, this is like scripture. But a remnant of a remnant I will save if they stick with me, pretty much. And then he begins to channel. And we see him get lost in it too. But it was such a nice thing. Seeing Rand channel this season has been such a highlight for me as well. And he begins to channel and it goes into the sky. He pretty much just trying to let them know, like, I'm the one. I'm the real. I am your Karakar. So while that's going on, this is when Swan, we see Swan again. And they didn't beat my sister black and blue. They beat her black and blue. They had her in rags. They had my sister down bad. But she gives a powerful monologue to E.A.R. And she pretty much let her know, you want the truth? The world is changing. I tried to do it. I didn't know that was going to be, this was the part from the previews. The world is changing. We cannot pretend that we still have control. We cannot sit in this tower and pretend that we still got control. Out there is the real world, and the last battle is upon us. And we have got to be united and together if we stand a chance. And so she pretty much told her, I have sworn the oath that my sisters have sworn for the last 3,000 years. I am Aes Sedai, and we are the power. The light shines through us. And if you, and she pretty much told her sisters, y'all want to sit behind this woman? All she craves is power. She don't care about us. She don't care about you. And then she tells E.A.R, you can either do something and watch this world burn, or you can do something, otherwise you're gonna burn. That's what she said. Otherwise, you're gonna burn. But I will never burn, because I am Swan Sanche, daughter of the river, water itself. And I defy you. I defy you, E.A.R. Sophie, Swan, daughter of the river, clever as a pike, strong as the tides, water itself. That speech was everything. It moved my heart so much that I had to watch it over and over and over again. Because this was not just a plea for her life or for this sentence that she may get. She was trying to let them know that I'm no dark friend. I am here. I have fought for the light. I've done what I thought was right. And she also mentioned how much she loved Moraine. Gotta add that in there. But she's wanting them to know that if y'all don't get y'all act together, all the work we've done will be for naught, and we will lose this war. And you will be consumed by it because of greed and your need for power. And so in that moment, they cut from there and they move us back to the fight between Lanfear and Moraine. And y'all, when I tell you this fight was so funny, the fight was funny because at the beginning, Moraine is channeling with the Sarkhanen, and Lanfear coming behind her and use these concussive blasts and knock her in the back, and she go flying like, oh! She go flying. And I couldn't do nothing but laugh. I should have put the clip up here. But it was hilarious. And then she started choking her out with, like, it was personal, okay? Like, she could have killed her with a snap of her finger, but it was personal. And she wanted her to die a slow death. But before she could kill her, Lan comes out, tries to hit her. She blocks him off. She grabs the Sarkhanen again, boom, smashes on the ground, knocks Lanfear back. I said, these ladies are knocking each other out with these concussive blasts, and I'm here for it. And the battle is so beautifully done, seeing the weaves of Lanfear's intricate one power weaves against Moraine's weaves with the Sarkhanen and being powered up. So it was such a sight to see. And while she got distracted blocking an attack from Moraine, Lan comes in and slices her leg through. And you got to remember, he has a blade force from the one power, so she can't heal that, right? And when she realizes she can't heal it, she knocked Lan out the way and she starts to channel the true power. This is what I wanted to show y'all. That black ooze, she starts to channel that, all that contorting again. And so she summons the true power. She's clearly, I ain't winning with the one power. So I'm going to use the true power against a fully powered Moraine with the Sakarna, which is the most powerful Sangreal for a woman. To use some Moraines at the top of the power that you can have. And they go and get at it and they clashing. And eventually she gets through, stabs Moraine with the sword. And as she's stabbing her, we see like a spirit, like a bond break from Moraine, because back at the White Tower, Alviarin kills Swan, beheads her. Swan died, y'all. Was not expecting that, because if you read the books or you read up like me, we know that Swan, obviously, yes, she's deposed. She's in prison. She wasn't supposed to die. So this change was new to everybody, and it had everybody in their feels, whether it was sadness, shock, rage, all of which were valid, by the way. But Moraine felt her die because that she swore on the oath rod in season 2. So, or season 1 rather. She swore on the oath rod to her, and so it was released when she was died. When she was died. When she died, it was released. And so that moment was what Moraine needed to find the strength she needed. She calls upon this power to Sakarna. It streams into her. She snatches the sword out of her and begins to fight Lanfear. Lanfear is just shocked, like, where'd she get all this power from? The woman she loved just died. So she is furious. She is heartbroken. She is distraught. She uses this to fuel her power. She attacks Lanfear, slices her throat, and she go in for another shot, but Lanfear escapes through a little traveling portal or whatever. But that was such a powerful scene to see. Like, she was dying. Moraine was good as dead, but feeling Swan die was what she needed to overpower Lanfear with the Sakarna and to win this particular battle. And I'm proud of her. Like, your woman just died. And so you got to make it count for something. Like, everything can't be in vain. So she did what she had to do, and I'm proud of her for that. She went toe-to-toe with Lanfear. I'm going to give her that. Like, she went toe-to-toe, and she let her know, like, hey, I ain't want to be played with. I'm here to handle big business, okay? And she did that. But then we move on. Like I said, after all of that happened, there's another monologue, voiceover from Moraine. While Rand, like I told y'all, he was channeling, he created this storm where his channeling moved the clouds and the weather started to change and it began to rain. And he made it rain. I believe that was part of the prophecy as well. So he making it rain, and the Aiel kneel to him. They claim him as their Kara. And the show ends with Egwene telling him, all right, Rand, let it go. Because if I remember the last picture I showed you, if you look in his eyes, that man was gone. He was gone, y'all. But it was a season. It was a season. That's all I got for the recap, y'all. That was a recap. To review it, y'all, I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And although I want to take some points off of what they did to Swan and Lyanna, rest in peace, Swan. Moment of silence for this. Okay. As much as I hated that, I do know there is a possibility for Swan to return, because in the books, there was a character who became a hero of the Horn when they died. And they were, the heroes of the Horn reside in Tel'aran'rhiod, and then they were pulled out of Tel'aran'rhiod into real life. So it's possible that Swan can return. Even Rap Judkins mentioned that it's possible for her to return, which I hope happens. But overall, I'm giving it a 9 because I heavily enjoyed the Nynaeve scene. No, I'm gonna bring it down to 8.5 because I really, as much as I loved seeing Nynaeve channel, break her block, and do what she did with the water, I was hoping for her to get her lick back this season. I did. I really wanted her to get her lick back. Even if it wasn't a full-fledged fight, I wanted her to be not only free herself with the power, but I wanted to see her use it on somebody. So I'm gonna subtract from that. I think they did rush Matt's a little bit. They might have rushed it just a little bit, but it was still good enough for me. But it might have been just a little bit rushed, as was the whole the Al-Qaedar. I wanted more contention with that because Kaludi, he just walked up. It's like, yeah, y'all gonna follow me. He just walked up the steps and left. So I'm like, that was kind of anticlimactic. I thought it was going to come down to something more than just that. So I'm taking some points off of that. Love the battle between Moiraine and Lanfear. It was really cool to see, although there's controversy between should Lanfear have been able to keep up with Moiraine, given that she had the Sarkhanah, which is the most powerful sangreal, which is, the replacement for the Clothing Kadat, whatever that thing is in the book. And there's no way she should have been able to. But regardless, I love what we saw because for me, it wasn't the one power versus the one power. At first it was. Then she moved to the true power. So I'm like, if she's using the true power, which comes from the Dark One itself, which is the ultimate power, I believe that's why she was able to be on par with Moiraine, even though she had that Sarkhanah, which heightens the woman to the fullest potential that she can be with it. I think I enjoyed the Tom, Merlin, and Elaine scene and him revealing the truth about the compulsion. I thought that was really well done. But yeah, I would have liked to see a little bit more White Tower politics, some stuff going down, because we hear from Roth Judkins that Varen, she was able to escape. Her and Leanne, they were down at the river or something like that. I guess I don't know. I would like to have seen it. See if they were able to get Leanne up out of there and free her and the other sisters that were friends of Swan. I would have liked to see that take place. So I know you can't fit everything, but some of those scenes they could have cut out, like the whole Leandrin and Moghedien. They could have nixed that. We didn't need that. But overall, 8.5. I'm gonna give it 8.5. I'm gonna give it 8.7 because I just really love this season. Just to see once again how beautiful the channeling was, and the weaves were so precise. They were so put together. They were colorful. They were meaningful. So I just love what they did this season in general. So 8.5 for the episode, 8.8 for the season. Wonderful season. In my opinion, as a show only guy, 8.8 season for me. Wonderfully, wonderfully done. And now I feel like this season really was setting up the groundwork for a lot of action that happened in season 4. So I am begging and pleading for them to give us season 4 ASAP. Okay, give it to us ASAP. We need season 4 tonight. Okay, this show cannot be canceled. I promise you, I will not raise hell, but I will bring the heavens down and everything in between, okay, to get season 4 renewed, and 5, 6, 7, 8 as well. And a bonus 9 or 10 if you want to give it to us. But excellent job. Shout out to the actors and actresses. Y'all did y'all's part. Y'all played y'all's roles down, baby. Y'all did such a wonderful job. I can't name everybody. Y'all know who you are. I don't care what y'all say. Yes, the writing can be better in places. They could use less time other places and use more here and there. But overall, this was a giant step over season 1, a huge step over season 2. And I am so elated to have gotten such an amazing season. And I am so ready and so invested in what they got planned for season 4 and beyond. And I hope that we get to see it. But before I go, I want to thank you all for joining this ride with me. I cannot express how amazing it has been to be a part of the Wheel of Time fandom and to be interacting with all of you all on Twitter, on the Facebook groups. It has been such a pleasure and an honor to record, to recap and review for this show that I love so much. It has been a pleasure. It's been an honor. And I just look forward to being able to do it more and more and more each season as it gets better and better. And just shout out to the cast, shout out to the fans that, the ones that critique it with good intentions, even the ones that don't critique it with bad, that do it with bad intentions to try to, be haters and whatnot. But just shout out to the show. Shout out to the Wheel of Time, y'all. If you're not watching the Wheel of Time, you crazy. Send this, clip this, and send it to everybody that's a doubter, okay, and a non-believer. The Wheel of Time is where it's at. And thank you all for joining me on this journey of the Wheel of Time. Light be with you all. But before we go, make sure you please subscribe to the E.A.R Chronicles, my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on the socials at the E.A.R Chronicles on TikTok and Instagram, and of course on Twitter at the E.A.R Chronicles. It means a lot for you to join this community. Please like, share, and comment. I want to hear from you, your thoughts on the finale, this season in general, hopes for the future, all of those things. And I'm signing out, not for the last time, but just for the last time for this One Power Chat series. And I look forward to coming back with more. Light be with you all. I'm out.